What is up, everybody? It's me, the Eagle Reviewer slash Reactor, and I am once again back at it. I'm in my normal recording. I recorded most of my videos. I don't know if I've left here yet. I did before, but anyways, I'm back here, and big movie just came out. As of this recording, it is currently Saturday, um, of October, whatever it is. Um, and one pretty big, I guess, heated discussion wise movie came out this weekend, Thursday itself. Venom The Last Dance. We're here to discuss it, so let's get into it. Man, where to begin with this one? You know, um, I'm gonna do a non-spoiler video, I guess, or maybe with. We'll see what happens if I get into that territory, but then I'll just put it in the beginning. I'll make this one non-spoilers, okay? So if you haven't seen the movie, it's fine. This is for you. If you're gonna see it this week or next weekend or sometime in the future, let me just give you some advice here. So all the stuff I'm gonna be discussing are stuff that's happened in the previous two movies, other maybe MCU stuff, and in the trailers, all right? But the stuff that like is important to the film, I won't talk about it, just what I thought of the movie, all right? Yeah, so let's begin from there. Alrighty, so some people are saying this is the best Venom movie. In my opinion, it's not. It's not the best Venom movie. I actually think two is the best one, then this one, then one is the worst one. Some people say one is the best. That's up to them. But my ranking follows what the Rotten Tomatoes critics do. Now, the score they give, I don't necessarily agree with that. I actually enjoyed these films a bit more. But in terms of like the order in which they rank them, I agree. I don't know why I didn't like the first one as much. Maybe it's because I only saw it once, or I just like I've only seen all these Venom movies once, like when they only came out. Like first one came out in 2018. That was 6 years ago, and I have not seen it since. So memory's kind of wonky of that. Because like I've rewatched every MCU movie recently, so those on top of my head because everything came onto Disney Plus. Venom didn't really feel like rewatching it. And then the second one, I remember my brother was recently watching it, so I got to like see some parts of it. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. And then I recently rewatched like the first Venom movie trailer, and I'm like, okay, this doesn't look as bad, but whatever. Let's get into this one. So here's what I will say. This entire movie gets you a feeling that this is the last one. Like even from the beginning. I don't know if you guys know what I mean or not, but if you have seen it, or if you haven't, what I'm trying to say is that let's say you haven't seen the other two Venom movies, you can tell that this is the last one. That this is part of some franchise, and that this is the last one before it ends. Okay, so you can sort of get that sense from it. Okay, that this is the last one. There's not going to be any more of these movies that are coming out, and I find that to be a bit odd. I mean, I know that that's what they're trying to market. They were trying to sell. This is it. There's no more. But what I would have done is I would have saved that feeling towards the end to kind of give you the idea that it's still going. A lot of people were saying that, if you watch this movie, you can sort of notice that Tom Hardy himself is feeling like maybe kind of old. I mean, he's getting older, but, like he's sort of tired, that he's sort of done with, Venom playing the character, and he's sort of done with these movies. Like, I mean, it's just getting money at this point, get that paycheck in the bag and all, but you can tell that unlike the first two Venom movies, he was actually trying and putting effort, this one less so. I think he sort of realized how, the fans are kind of disappointed and, it's just maybe not as interested. So he's like, yeah, whatever, let's just get this thing made. Which I thought was maybe true. I don't know. But yeah. Now, the runtime is definitely something we have to discuss. If you know, that the runtime for this film is pretty short. Like, I think only, like, if you add the credits and all and the post credits and all, it still comes under 2 hours long. It's like an hour 30 minutes long, like without credits and everything. So yeah, the runtime at first seems okay, but like you could tell towards the end they just sort of rushed everything and threw everything in together, and you sort of get that feeling of how everything was like just one big ball of just ideas just clamped into each other, and then it's sort of just like I guess fell apart. I will definitely say that towards the ending is when the movie actually did kind of fall apart. Like, like it just became this one big mess. I don't want to go too much into what story-wise what's happening. But here's what I will say. If you have seen the trailers, 80% of the movie, you already know what's gonna happen. Like, they literally just whatever you see in the trailer for the movie, they just take those ideas, like what you see happening, and they just extend it. So it just goes on longer. That's basically it. The other 20% is like stuff maybe you have to see the movie to understand, right? Because what I will say is that there are so many side characters in this, which I feel like is wrong. Um, if you've seen the trailer, you know that Mrs. Chen returns. She does, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with the OGs, you know? Like, I thought his ex-wife was gonna be in this, but maybe story was I can see why she wasn't as important. But, or I don't even know if they were married or not, or if they're going to. But, yeah, you could definitely tell that, there were so many side characters in this, you know? Like, I think the guy who played, what's it? Lizard, Ray Siphons. I think that's how you say his name. He played Lizard in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, and if you've seen the trailer, you see that he appears in this. He's another one of those just side characters. And overall, you sort of feel like a lot of nothingness happens in the movie, right? What I will say by that, I mean, is that if you watch this movie, um, how do I say this? It's gonna sound kind of mean, but nothing really happens in this movie. Like, sure, some stuff happens, but what I will say is this movie's own purpose was to set stuff up in the future and just end within itself. Like, sure, Venom does go out and he does do some stuff, and sure, the CGI and visuals do look better in this one. The comedy does hit at certain moments. Like, like I laughed at like maybe one scene. But the rest of it was just me watching it intensely, which I always do, trying to see what's going on, MCU fan over here, but like, yeah. I think what people are saying online is that they're sort of like not caring about the script as much and just putting comedic moments in this. Sometimes the timing works, sometimes it doesn't, but yeah. But at a certain point, you'll feel how stupid the events that are taking place in this movie are, and yeah. And that all sort of boils down to this one big question a lot of people are wondering, why is it so hard to make a good Venom movie? It's not. Just ask me to do it. I'll make a good one. Just do what the fans want, do something comic accurate, and do it right. Now, here's what I will say. I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but Noel has been mentioned, right, in this movie, in the trailers and all, right? And the creator of Noel actually commented about how they addressed Noel in Venom The Last Dance. He said, like, he was impressed, and he was like, that's how we treat a king. What I will say is, I can see why he said that. Um, so I don't think you guys have to be worried or as disappointed about Noel, because he's just being set up in the future. Who knows what that means, or if Sony's actually trying to establish something here, but that's all I'll say. Alright? So I can see why he said that, but I don't think you guys have to be worried about it. If you're interested, go check it out. Alright, like it's there. You'll find out what happens. But what I will say is that you know, I just hope for the best, Like, I know Tom Hardy just did what he could with Venom and all, The ending, some people are either happy about, like, what happens at the very end or, mixed bag of emotions. If you know what happens, or if you don't, you'll just find out yourself, I guess. But overall, you could tell that this is truly the last dance. It's the conclusion, it's the ending, it's the finale. And, I guess to summarize it is if you enjoyed the other two Venom movies, there's a chance you'll like this one. If you didn't, there's less chance you'll like this one. Alright? So don't expect anything to just come in and like change your mind all of a sudden. But, maybe if that makes sense, you sort of understand now if you want to check it out or not. But that's basically it. Venom The Last Dance is interesting. There's some cool moments, some cool ideas for sure, but Sony, who knows what Sony can pull off anymore. We've lost trust in them. Hopefully Venom goes into the MCU. Maybe something good can come out of it, but that's it. Anyway, guys, that's about it for my non-spoiler filled review for Venom The Last Dance, but my with spoilers one might come out later. That's it, you guys. Eagle Reviewer / Reactor is out.